On December 13th, more than 250 landowners, hunters, farmers, and conservationists gathered in Marshall, Minnesota at the first Minnesota Pheasant Summit. The summit was convened by Governor Mark Dayton to solicit the public's ideas on how to reverse the decline of pheasants and grassland habitat in the state.
We probably do need to do more and spend more money in certain areas. What are those? What is the most effective way that we can use the resources we have? And how can we spend that money more wisely, more effectively to get better results?
We all want something that we can take from here and use as an action plan for what we can get done in the next few years.
Here's what participants had to say about the problem and possible solutions.
I'm here because I think the pheasant stands for more than just the pheasant. I think it stands for water quality, legacy of Minnesota. I think it stands for working with our kids, getting out onto the landscape, and I'm here for all those reasons.
I am here today because I am seeing that wildlife habitat has been impacted significantly over the last several years. We're seeing a decline in pheasant populations, we're seeing a decline in songbird populations, and in pollinators. Everything that we can do for pheasant habitat is exactly what we're trying to do for every other species that's grassland dependent.
I came because I have a lot of passion around this subject. I come from an agricultural background. I'm a vice president of our local Pheasants Forever chapter, and I know that there's a lot of things wrong right now. There's a lot of room for improvement with habitat, specifically for pheasants, but that's such a great indicator for so many other things out there. This is a great opportunity to have our voices heard by people that can actually do something with that.
I think the habitat loss.
In our neck of the woods with our wind and snow, I think one of our major problems is winter habitat for the pheasants and wildlife in general.
It's harder to find public land to hunt on that doesn't have a whole lot of pressure. Private land seems to be diminishing, particularly with the loss of CRP, and a lot of our rim acres that were grassland are now converting to trees.
The biggest concern I have is the loss of habitat. It's continued to decline over the past decade. It just keeps going down and down and down.
We need more money in being able to put habitat on the ground, whether it's expanding our existing habitat base or starting a new complex.
Let's start doing some small stuff, and there's a lot of land the state already owns. That was a very small amount of money. We could turn that into some really prime pheasant habitat. And even though some of it might not be huntable, it's still going to be a place for the pheasants to nest and to hatch chicks and for them to live.
The number one recipe thing I believe we need is more winter habitat, and then secondly the place for the chicks to be raised in the springtime of the year.
We've got to get better nesting cover, we've got to get better brooding cover, and we've got to get better access to food and shelter for pheasants, but not just pheasants. It's the the honeybee, it's the monarch butterfly, it's a lot of other prairie animals that are out there. The pheasant just kind of happens to be the one that's at the forefront.
The 7-hour summit ended with participants voting on a set of action items. Participants wanted to enforce current laws that create and enhance river buffers, roadside grasslands, and grassland easements. They supported a bonding bill for new wildlife management areas. They voted to increase and target funding for private land habitat from state, local, and federal sources, and to create competitive compensation for landowners to create nesting and summer pheasant habitat.
Find the bird.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 12.
I really think that walking away from today, you can see a lot of passion, you can see a lot of energy around this, and they definitely heard our voice, and there's a lot of great actions that came out of this.
And I hope we can do this, on a regular basis and not just wait till next fall, but let's keep this ball rolling. Let's get stuff going. Let's get some short-term goals. Let's get some long-term goals. Because I know there's a lot of people, all the various pheasant organizations and wildlife, everybody's ready to go. And in my world, it's like, let's get going. Let's not wait till, let's not talk it to death. Let's work it to death.